Hello, everyone. Welcome to Secrets of Saltmarsh. This is one of our Patreon Greyhawk campaigns starring all of these lovely Patreons. If you want to find out what you can get for being a Patreon, you can check out this link here in chat. I want to say real quick, thank you so much to all of our Patreons. Because of them, because of all the people you see on the screen, everything that we do here at this channel is possible. All of the one-shots, three-shots, marathons, all of it. So thank you very much. We also have all of our episodes on our YouTube. You can check all of the campaigns and VODs over there in that link in chat. And also, if you want to interact with the game, there are a couple of ways you can do so. You can use channel points to redeem advantage die or rerolls to any player, including me. Or if you want to add an element of fate to the narrative, every $10 guarantees a draw to the deck of many things to the player of your choice. We are starting off with Emma, you have 1 card left over. Finn, you have 2 cards left over. And GeekDice, who is not going to be here for today's session, has 2, which don't really matter. So we'll just put those off to the side for when GeekDice comes back.
Everyone gift GeekDice like the entire deck.
Oh my god. I wonder if that would make him more excited to play or scared to come back.
Knowing him, probably both.
The whole deck? You know what? I think I'm done. Bye.
Well, all of the cards on my desk right now are bad, so...
Except for mine, right?
Let's get started! Tell me who you are, where we can find you, and please reintroduce your character to us. We'll start with Emma.
Hi, it's me, Emma, also known as Emma Panada. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Emma Panada. I'm also creating a TTRPG called All of the Witches. I just announced the Kickstarter date today on Twitter. It's coming to Kickstarter March 16th. So if a cool witch TTRPG sounds neat to you, please go follow us on Twitter, follow our Kickstarter page, and that would be dope. But here I'm playing Arlen Ruvaloth, a person who ran away from home and kind of took on all of her parents' achievements as her own. And then nobody has called BS on her ever since. So she's just pretended to be this great adventurer with all these acclaims to her name, and it's kind of built up her ego a lot as they keep succeeding and doing cool stuff. And now she's the leader of like this ship and this group, and it's wild.
Yes, we'll see how Arlen wears the mantle of leadership in today's episode. Thank you very much. GeekDice is not here today. He'll be back next time. We'll hop on over to GodfatherWraith.
Hi, I'm GodfatherWraith, V_ESG, but you can just call me Wraith. You can call me Godfather, call me Tim, call me pretty much anything you want except late for lunch.
Ooh, lunch this time.
Yeah, just on a whim decided lunch. So I play Garen. He's your average nondescript rogue who's really good at making things dead.
It's true. We're definitely going to be seeing a lot of that today's episode. Yep.
Garen's going to try very hard. Oh, I just realized that he's not at max health. Probably should do that because we've rested like multiple times.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you very much. We'll head on over to John.
Hi there, I'm John. I play Pole of Ammonfort, who is a former street waif from Ammonfort. He's now a big bad adventurer, sort of. He's kind of a pacifist and he never actually fights anything when we fight. But he tries to help out as best he can with his Heward's handy haversack and his faithful pixie companion, Penny Sprinkle, who just came back after a very long absence. He's ready to take on the world. Me, I go by Andicarus on the internet, and you can find me on most social media under that name. If you go take a look at my itch.io profile, you'll find a few games and stuff that I made. They're pretty fun. So I'd love it if you would go there and download them. You don't have to pay, but if you feel like paying, go ahead.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about one of your games?
Okay, sure. I made a game called Happy Day Seniors Bingo. It's a one-page role-playing game that I made for a kind of one-page role-playing game competition, and it uses bingo cards rather than dice as the base behind the mechanics, and you generally play people in a seniors home, but it could be a seniors home of the future or a seniors home in your fantasy world or what have you. I've actually run it as a seniors home for retired adventurers in Greyhawk before, and it was pretty fun.
Oh, that's really interesting. Thank you very much. We'll head on over to you, Zombie.
Hello, I'm Jacob. I'm Zombie. I'm Z. I'm whatever the names that to call me. I'm the lore keeper and Captain Z of the Good Ship Clip. I probably do too many clips. That's up to your own discretion. Today, I play a Finn Carson, who's a ranger researcher who has gotten a big, who's had a lot of problems in his life with zombie-related things, undead-related things, possibly a certain wizard that's been running around this town. So it's been a whole lot of fun. And speaking of returning, last week, of course, I got my BIMs returned, and I got to actually show this off last week, which I love when I can actually have props. I love doing prop stuff. It's fun. So yeah, you can find me on Twitter at ZombieFighter89. If you go there, there's a pinned tweet made by the lovely Lady May. If you go there, I do audio editing, video editing, and Twitch clipping. If you know anyone that yourself or anyone else who would like that to be part, or like to hire someone for that, I'm the person to do it. I have a giant resume full of different clips and videos that people can vouch for that I do, because I'm obsessed over them, because I'm decent at it, I guess. I want to pull, I guess pull is a really funny word for this. I want to pull back a little bit onto what John said, because in real life, I work in an assisted living home. So that game's always the one that I have always wanted to kind of either play or play in, because I feel like I do that every day, or mostly. I'm around all those old people, so I feel like I can get a lot of the nuances of how they act and how they are. So I think that would just be really fun to do at some point. But as someone who works there, I like the idea of there being a TTRPG system of, a retirement home.
Thank you very much. We're going to go ahead and jump right into our story for today. But the scene doesn't open up on a marshy field quite yet. In fact, we backpedal just a little bit. The group of you are in the private lobby of the snapping line. You have been given some drinks and a few treats to help yourselves to as you formulate a plan. The group of you have been told that the competition will be reduced to a simple battle between your group and the group that belongs to Albert the Sapphire. You have a moment to decide what parameters that you want to take, what your limits are, what your goal is, and this is the only information that you know. You know that they are a party of 4. They had someone who appeared to be somewhat of a cleric disposition, bearing the symbol of Paylor. There was a warrior, there was a ranger, a satyr, and the mage himself, with his very flamboyant, floofy hat. What do you do? What do you say?
Right, everyone, simple enough. Take out the casters first if you can, and then we'll move on to the others after that.
Well, I can cast old person on the people who aren't casters better, because they won't have as, they aren't as resistant as casters are.
Aye, that's a good idea.
I like that, yeah.
So maybe I can handle that while you guys are taking out the casters. Just to keep some of the heat off you.
Right.
All right.
Focus on the cleric first if you can. But if not, if they do some sort of magic to keep themselves away, then go for the flashy one.
Speaking
Right.
of magic, is there anyone I should possibly throw my hunter's mark at in particular? I was gonna do it to the arrogant little person over there, but I want to help whatever. I would rather do it to whoever you think would be most used by it or helpful.
I think put on the cleric first.
On the cleric?
Above table with
Mhm.
Hunter's Mark, I think you can change the target once your target goes down using a bonus action. So yeah, you can just kind of change it between people.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sounds
another quick question: did we say if this was a fight to the death, or did they tell us fight to the death, or just
To the death.
So it
Okay.
wasn't really made clear.
All right?
And this is a perfect opportunity to talk to your party about what limits you want to take there.
All right,
Don't
so I guess-
kill anyone. Just knock them unconscious.
Oh damn! Oh no, that's fine.
Alright.
I'm good with that. Yeah.
I'll be careful with my aim then.
But if they try to kill one of us, then all bets are off.
I would hope so, but yeah.
I agree.
All right. Is there anything anyone wants to do before you begin to head off towards the battleground?
No.
Maybe have a pint.
Yes. Oh, man. Okay. Roll me a Constitution saving throw at advantage.
I knew it.
I think at this point it's pretty well established that Pole is very good at handling their liquor.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, you're fine with a 16. It's delicious. This particular brew, we'll say, it's a wheat ale, and it has hints of raspberry and citrusy notes. It's very refreshing.
Nice, thanks, bartender. That was good.
You're welcome. And her wrist gives you a sharp smile. All right. And so, the party heads towards the old gate of Saltmarsh. As you're making your way through the street, you maneuver between various carts that are carrying large logs of lumber and these heavy wagons of stone going in and out of Saltmarsh for the various construction projects throughout. And keep going further and further north. And eventually you reach a clearing which has been indicated on your map. And there you meet face to face with the other group. For all intents and purposes, since GeekDice is not here, we're just gonna not worry about where he is. Okay. So as you approach this clearing here, you can see that off to the side, the council members have been gathered and they are all either standing or sitting. You see that Gellin Primewater has brought this very garish armchair. It's half sinking into the marsh already. This plush, velvety, red cushioned seat where he's just reclining and sipping on wine. You see Ida Oland is standing rimrod straight with her hair pulled back, her hands at the small of her hips, and the party across from you appear battle ready. You see the satyr ranger has her bow drawn and she has all of her equipment polished and properly stowed. You can choose your battle formation here before we get started. Penny flits around Pole. Oops.
I'm assuming this is open, no tall grass or anywhere for Garen to easily hide.
Unfortunately, it is completely flat here.
Yeah. Yeah, you've learned not to let me have ambush.
There is nothing to hide behind here.
Fen, step up here with me.
Yeah, I figured as much. Yep. There we go. Right there.
So you can see in the very back here is Albert. Is there a way I can show this on the stream? Okay. To the very left is Albert. To the north is the ranger. The cleric is to the south, and closest to you is their warrior. You hear Albert as he stretches out and slams his staff, which is crested with this large, knotted, raw material of sapphire. He calls out, he says, "Welcome! It's a shame that you're going to lose here. We have such a wonderful audience." He gestures over to the council. Gellin Primewater claps.
Arlen's gonna be like she can't hear.
I said...
Could I have done my inspiring leader thing beforehand? I totally forgot about it.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. We'll kind of take a
that was part of what should have been happening at the bar when I was having my pint.
Yeah. Here, we'll set the ambiance.
And what speech do you give us?
Oh well, you know, we are the crew of the best vessel in these parts. We've done all the good deeds that need doing in these parts. These people never done nothing but for money, and we can take them on no problem. Are you all ready? I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on.
Totally.
Are you all ready?
Totally appears
There
out
we
of nowhere.
go.
It's like, yeah!
Yeah, Tully's with us. We can't lose. Done. Drop the mic.
And then we like smash cut back over to the battlefield, and Tully is not there with you.
What does that give us again?
You get some temp hit points
I like those.
Yes.
equal to my charisma modifier plus my level. So that's going to be 11.
Nice.
Nice. That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah.
All right. You see Albert begins to speak to his comrades in a hushed tone, and the warrior slams his weapon against his shield, and he says, "If you want, you can make the first move."
All right.
All right, so y'all will get first round here. I will need everyone to roll me initiative. Please make sure you select your token.
Except I didn't.
Could I use one of my nat 20s on
Yeah,
this initiative?
absolutely. What's your dex modifier?
0.
Okay, so you have 20.
So I did not select my token, and I rolled a 16. Do you want me to reroll?
No, that's cool. Got you.
Okay.
I got you.
Finn, is it okay if I use magic that also affects you?
Sure.
Great. It's gonna help you.
Oops, that was wrong. That's so funny. I love that. The turn order has Albert going dead last. That's hilarious.
Good.
All right. We start off with Arlen.
Great. Arlen's gonna put her hand on Finn's shoulder, and I will cast Thunderstep. So we suddenly just disappear, and then appearing right in the middle of them is Arlen and Finn, and this loud thunderous boom just like echoes suddenly, and this kind of like lightning bursts out away from Arlen, striking all 4 of them. and they have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, that is so dope. Hold on, I think I have something.
That is so cool. What the hell? Look at that effect. Yeah.
Damn, didn't show on stream.
Aw.
That's a little treat for y'all. All right, cool. They have to make a save of 14.
Yeah.
We said
Then you're
weakness.
also up
Con.
here. Yeah.
Okay, that's a 10 for the cleric. 17 for the satyr. The warrior. It's a 15. And the mage has a 4.
Perfect.
And it
Okay.
shows-
So, the ones that failed are going to take 3d10 thunder damage. The others will take half.
Holy shit. Okay, so the satyr saved, takes 8 thunder damage. And the warrior saved 16 damage. Wow. I love this so much. Okay. Yeah, as this like crackle of thunder bursts out, you see that it immediately throws Albert's hat off and it just immediately disintegrates
Yeah.
the entire thing behind him. You see that there is a singe that takes to his hair, and his perfectly coiffed, wavy, blonde locks are more or less disrupted and disheveled, and you see them standing up in strange directions, and he looks shocked. No pun
And now,
intended.
as his appearance is completely messed up, Arlen's going to smirk and say, "It's such a nice audience we have here today. It's a shame you're going to lose."
I love it. Anything else for your turn?
So that was my action. Do I have anything I want to do as my bonus action? I'm gonna put my Hexblade's curse onto the cleric.
Okay. What does that do?
So as a bonus action, I can put this on them, and I gain bonus to damage rolls against the cursed target, equal to my proficiency bonus. I crit on 19s and 20s, and then if they die, then I get health back.
Okay, cool. Very good. What does it look like as you cast this?
I think I just give them a mean glare.
Ooh.
And then they suddenly feel kind of like this tenseness over them.
The cleric, this young man, he regards you with wide eyes, and you can see that his pallor grows pale. Blood rushes away from his face, and he goes, "Boop." Anything else for your turn?
That's going to be it.
All right. We're going to go ahead and say that the party goes first, so we're going to skip their turn. Penny Sprinkle's next.
Penny Sprinkle is going to fly up there. She's going to take a dash action to get close enough to start assisting with the fight. She can get 80 feet. So
80 would be this line here.
yeah. So she'll get up against this guy.
All right. Penny rushes in front of the warrior.
She's pulled out her little sword. She's ready to fight.
I love it. Very good. Garen, it is your turn.
All right. So, that's it. House cooperate. So 95. So I've got to go at least 15 feet.
I'm getting you that sneak attack, buddy. I know.
Yep.
Wow, that was such a powerful first move.
Right?
Heck?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then Garen will attack the cleric.
Okay. Do you get advantage because there's someone?
No, but I get the sneak attack.
Okay,
sadly.
gotcha. So you see that the war priest is wearing a set of plate armor that shows between the various folds of their robe. 12 will not hit, unfortunately.
Aaron's. I can't argue this one. He missed.
He missed. Oh, okay. Anything else for you?
Well, we've already covered. Garen can't hide. Can't hide here. So nope, nothing else.
Okay. It is now the warrior's turn. The warrior.
Are they letting us go first?
You're right.
still?
Yep. It is Pole's turn. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry.
All right. Well, Pole is going to move up his 30 feet. 10, 20, 30. And then he's going to... He's in range. Yeah. He's going to cast Hold Person on the warrior. He holds out the iron rod and points it at him and makes a hypnotizing figure 8 gesture with it.
Ooh. Okay.
Says, you will follow me to death. And then he's gonna see how that goes.
As a wisdom saving throw, he rolls a 19.
Oh man!
You see this moment where he freezes up. He stares at you. He even kind of squints in your direction. You get the sense that maybe his eyesight's not that great. And he just shrugs it off. Slams his weapon against his shield. Anything else for you?
That'll be it.
Okay. Very good. Finn, it is now your turn.
Have we established that Hunter's Mark's a bonus action or an action?
It is a bonus action.
Okay, so then I want to do as discussed earlier. I want to do Hunter's Mark on the cleric.
Okay.
And then I click the thing, right? Like that? Oh, okay.
Hunter's Mark has a range of 90 feet, so you're good. Okay. So the Hunter's Mark's on the clear. What does the Hunter's Mark look like? You can make it look any which way you want.
I think that he'll kind of grab his great club and he'll like have the kind of the magic flow through the great club and then just tap him on the shoulder with it.
All right.
Since I'm right next to them.
Yes. All right. You tap them on the shoulder and they slowly turn their head towards you. So that's your bonus.
No, I was gonna say, and as they're turning their head, Finn would have been like, "Hello there," and smacked him across the face with the great club.
Hell yeah. Do me a roll. Let's see how it goes. 25 absolutely hits.
Nice.
All right, so with the Hunter's Mark
run.
damage, that's going to be a 9.
Nice.
You smack him across the face and you see a few teeth go flying and a smear of blood. They reel a bit from the damage.
And Finn will kind of look at his great club and go, "I miss you, old friend." And he'll just be standing there happy with the work he's done so far.
Okay.
Doesn't Hunter's Mark add damage to?
It does. He rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1, unfortunately.
I think Rangers get multi-attacks, right?
Oh, I
Yes.
do. I
Yeah.
can do this again, can't I?
Yes, you can.
Well, then we're going to do this again.
Whoa!
Whoa!
That's a crit.
Nice.
All right, 12
First it was a warm-up.
damage. Oh my god. What the heck? Okay. What does it look like here as you hit again and this does a lot of damage?
We'll say that the other one, as we hit, you said the teeth fly out and they're like looking away. So we'll say that their head is kind of turned slightly over and he'll wind up again and hit him square in the back of the skull.
There's a crack and he's like, "Ah!" And he falls over. We'll say that he's prone. Why not?
Hell yeah.
All right, cool.
And then I think that's everything for me.
You do have movement if you want.
Nah, I'm good where I am.
All right, cool. That's going to be the end of the turn. However, Finn,
Uh-oh. No.
you have drawn the skull card.
Of course I
Oh,
have.
God.
This encounter is going to be a little more difficult than it would have normally.
Can I blame Godfather? He's the one who gave us all cards last
Whatever you
time.
want. Okay. top of the order, new round. The enemies will attack now. Arlen, you go first.
Great. I am going to cast Inflict Wounds at a 2nd level on the cleric.
Okay.
Oh no, a 12.
A 12 will not hit.
Do I have another nat 20?
Yes, you have 2. Oh, you
Okay.
had 2. You have 1 now.
I'll use that then.
Okay. All right.
So this will be 8d10.
Yes. This is to the cleric, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and it does an extra 3 damage because of my curse.
Okay. Tell me what this looks like as y'all just wombo combo the shit out of this cleric and knock them the fuck out. And
Yeah,
this
so-
is non-lethal damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we just kind of teleport in the middle of them, hit them with all this thunder damage. They're all a bit disoriented as we're just hailing attacks at them. And then as they're starting to regain their composure, Arlen looks dead at the wizard. It was so kind of you to let us have that whole area just to attack you for a little bit. And then reaches over to the cleric's shoulder, and then their arm just starts kind of like getting this black, like necrotic energy going through their shoulder into their arm and their body, and then they just fall unconscious.
Yeah, they go like, they just crumple unceremoniously. You see Albert is shocked, recoiling away from you, looking down at his cleric who has folded like wet laundry. Turns his head towards you. I will destroy you on my turn.
Good luck with that.
You do still have a bonus action.
I do. I don't know that I can do anything with it. So we're just going to end my turn there.
Very good. The war priest we're just going to remove them. They're not in the fight anymore. Penny, it is your turn.
Okay, who's the guy at the top?
This is the satyr who is a ranger. You
All
see
right.
that she has a bow drawn.
Penny's gonna fly over there.
Okay.
And start bothering him. So she'll assist anyone who attacks that guy.
Okay. You see Penny getting in the face of this ranger, and the ranger in the background, you know how like in games they're just kind of like idle. Yeah, she's like trying to swat Penny away with her bow. All right. Garen, it is your turn.
All right. So Garen's going to move a little bit closer and take a shot at the arrogant wizard.
Very good.
Oh my god.
Wizards don't have a lot of AC, right?
Sometimes.
Why did I close that?
I don't know.
Why does my brain go, I don't need that anymore, and then close the thing that I need?
Oh, you know, a lot of low rolls. Roll 20 is being mean to me today.
Okay. You see as the 12 goes, the arrow looks as if it will directly dead on hit the mage, but inches away from Albert, it cracks against some kind of invisible force. You see that there's definitely mage armor cast on the wizard as the arrow unceremoniously drops to the ground. Albert flashes you a
Ooh.
smile. Anything else for you?
No.
Okay. Next on the turn order, we have the warrior. The warrior... Open the wrong thing. Come on.
Warrior, come out and play.
The the warrior turns towards Finn and has a multi-attack.
No.
He will attack. Hiya!
Ow.
Hiya! Oh, nice.
Ow!
That's a crit. Okay, you take 17, 18 slashing damage as the warrior turns towards you and goes cutting across your chest in these deft strokes with expertise. He digs his heels into the mud. You can see that it squelches underneath him as he steadies himself, directing his attention solely on you.
Oh, you've got my full attention now. Trust me.
I will cut you down! Pole, it is your turn.
All right, Pole's gonna move a little closer. Oops. 10, 20, 30. And if at first you don't succeed, try again. And I'm casting it at 3rd level, so I'm gonna get the ranger and the warrior in it this time.
Ooh, okay. This
So-
was a con save, right?
No, it's a wisdom save.
A ranger rolled a 1. And the warrior rolled a 10. I think they both
Nice.
fail. So what does it look like as you cast this?
Well, just like before, I'm making spooky noises and I'm weaving my little iron rod around and sort of hypnotizing, and then they go completely rigid. I'm stuck in place.
I like to imagine that the warrior, as you're approaching, turns to look at you, and they squint, and they can see you now, and you see them shiver to a stop, freezing in place. Very cool. Finn, it is now your turn.
Okay, so with the cleric being down, that means my hunter's mark can go to somebody else. Correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. We're gonna go at that. It was the ranger that attacked me, wasn't it?
The
warrior.
warrior.
Warrior. I'm sorry. W's.
Paralyzed though.
Well, I'm still gonna hit it with my
Alright.
hunter's mark because I'm angry because it took a lot of points from me. So
11 was basically just the temp HP.
I took more than 11. But yeah, but it did eat up a good chunk of it. So with the hunter's mark, I'm gonna then attack it with the great club.
Okay. And it won't break the hold person. They have to make a save, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just easier to hit someone who's paralyzed.
Yeah.
You probably get advantage on that, which
Yeah, let's go ahead and say that. So you roll a 24, which absolutely hits. You do
Oh, yeah.
11 damage to the warrior. You smack him. He cannot resist this. You can
Good.
make another attack if you want.
Yeah, since he can't resist that one, I'm not gonna have him resist this one either.
Okay, 22 absolutely hits as well. You do an additional 7 damage.
I think your hunter's mark still goes off too, right?
For both attacks.
And then I'll add the extra 2 for 9. Okay, cool.
Yep.
You smack him! You smack him! You can hear the metal of his armor crunching with every blow as he takes. And it's very strange because he doesn't respond, being held in place. You just hear his lips not moving. How dare you, fucking hurts! What the fuck?
it's actually even worse
Yeah.
than that. I just looked up paralyzed. Any attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature.
Oh, really? All
Hey,
right,
yo.
Oh, damn!
we'll double
Oh.
that damage then.
Hell yeah!
So that would have been 18,
22, so 40.
40. Okay. The warrior looks very bloodied at this point. Hell yeah. Thank you for looking that up. Okay. Finn, do you want to move?
Nah, I think I'm good where I am.
It is now the mage's turn. Ooh, what is he gonna do?
Cry.
No. You see him lift up his hands, and as he does, these wispy tendrils of fog begin to pour out of his fingernails, and it enshrouds him. He disappears for a moment and reappears. Over here. So he casts Misty Step. He raises his staff and points it towards the group of you, and a light begins to emanate from the knot of sapphire rock that makes the head of his staff, and it glows, and it glows, and it glows, and it begins to become so bright that it's painful to look at. And all of a sudden, an explosive charge flies out at the entire group of you as he casts Fireball.
Ooh.
At 3rd level. This is a 20-foot radius. That means he'll be able to hit everybody, including
Except
his
Garen.
companions.
Except Garen,
Not so nice of him to
Except
hurt
Garen.
his companions too for us.
right?
Yes. Oh, that was... I don't know why. Sometimes it doesn't share to the chat. I don't want to whisper this. Never whisper. Okay. I'll roll it again. Fireball! Hiya! Oh, it did less damage. Okay, cool. Alright, I need a DC 14 dexterity saving throw. Arlen saved with 14. From everyone except Garen. Garen's fine. That's a 23 from Finn. That's a 12 from Pole. Okay. I'll need one for Penny too. And then Satyr. Oh, they automatically fail because they can't. They are restrained. Penny rolled a nat 1. Oh no. Okay. So if you save, you take half damage, which will be 12. Pole, you take 24 damage, and Penny also takes 24 damage.
Penny disappears from existence.
Again.
No.
No.
I thought those 11 extra hit points would help, but that only brings her to 13.
Penny just disappears. You
Oh
hear a
no,
tiny, I'll be back, Pole, don't worry. I have plot armor. All right. That will be the end of his turn. Arlen, it's your turn.
I'm gonna move over here.
I'm
20
so
feet.
sorry. I don't know why the hunter's not on there. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I moved 20 feet next to our wizard friend,
Mhm.
our pal, the wizard. Who said you were allowed to leave?
I'll roast you. I'll roast you alive.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and just use inflict wounds again at, let's do a 3rd level.
Ooh. 22 absolutely hits.
That is so little damage.
That is 14 damage. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
You hear this blood-curdling scream erupt from Albert as you inflict the wound upon him, but he still manages to stay up.
Okay. That's my turn.
Very good. Garen.
All right. Garen is going to draw his arrow and take a moment to aim down and steady aim. Thank you, Max, for the help. Which gives him
Okay.
advantage on his next attack.
Okay.
And then, Okay, thank you, Max. Max is helping me move my mouse. So
All right. Who are you trying to hit?
7. The wizard again.
Okay, that absolutely hits. That's going to be 27 damage with your sneak attack. Okay, he, as you see him twisting and screaming from the injury inflicted by Arlen, he takes this arrow to the shoulder and you see him drop to a knee. He's still up, but he seems very hurt. We'll say that he is effectively prone.
Alrighty then. And that is the end of Garen's turn.
Okay, did you want to move at all?
I can't after steady aim.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, cool. It is the satyr's turn. The ranger will make a wisdom save to try to break free of the hold person. That's a 17. She breaks free at the end of her turn. So she's you see her manage to shake it off, but that's going to be the end of her turn there. The warrior will also try to break free. That's a 16.
That'll do it. That was the number
Okay.
needed.
Gotcha. And you also see he breaks free at the end of his turn. Pole, it is now your turn.
Let's see. I think Pole's just gonna take out his staff and go help out. He's gonna go stand here and put up a blade ward.
Ooh, okay. It's been a while, so can you tell us what that looks like?
Sure, he just spins his finger over his head and until it little shards of metal start coming around and this little whirlwind around him.
Very nice. Okay. Can't remember what icon we used. We used this. Lots of swords. Okay. Very cool. All right. Next will be Finn.
Well, Finn is probably just going to, even though this won't be a crit, initially, he's gonna keep attacking with the Great Club.
Okay. Very good. You're aiming for the warrior.
We're aiming for the warrior.
Okay. He's no longer held. Oh, that's a nat
Whoa.
20. Okay. Okay, that hits. All right, that's going to be 16 damage. Make sure you roll your hunter's mark damage too.
Oh, do I reroll that again?
Yeah, you roll every time you do an
Oh.
attack, I believe. Okay. So that's going to be 16, 19 damage total. Yeah, you smack him real good. You see that he actually ends up dropping his shield, so his armor class will go down.
Is the hunter's mark doubled as well?
Oh, it is, absolutely.
Oh,
He cries like a baby.
I got you, Z.
thank you.
And you also get another attack.
Let's see if we can make this one count. 2.
Okay, 20 will absolutely hit. Roll Hunter's Mark again. Okay, it's gonna be 7 additional damage. He begins to breathe heavily. You can tell that he is very, very badly hurt. Anything else for you?
He'll look at him and he'll go, You made sure to get your first hit in really well, but I'm gonna make sure you don't get another hit in.
We'll see about that.
Just you wait till my next turn.
Just you wait till my turn. All right. It is now Albert's turn. He... As he looks up at you, Arlen, he is glaring. And his hand rises up again, and you see those misty trails of smoke emanate. He disappears. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He reappears here, away from you, using his bonus action. And he will turn towards... Okay. He raises up his his staff in the direction of Arlen, his eyes brimming with hate. And all of a sudden, pew, 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 magic missiles begin to erupt out and towards you. I'll cast this at 3rd level. So that means 3, 4, 5. He gets 5 attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage here. As you see, the magic missiles that erupt out of his staff, they are shaped like tulips. These glowing, brilliant blue tulip heads. And as they smash into you, they explode into flower petals and dissipate. There's a
Great.
smell of tulips around you.
And as these are just slamming into Arlen, the audience is watching as these kind of mini explosions are happening, and then suddenly a burst of flame engulfs Albert as I use Hellish Rebuke.
I love it.
So I think he needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. He rolls an 8.
Okay, that's going to be 2d10.
All right.
10 points of fire damage.
You see, as he takes this damage, his cloak begins to singe at the edges, and he begins to go, "Ah, ah, ah," and he's trying to stamp them out. He seems quite distracted. I'll say the next attack on him has advantage as he's trying to do that. There's a giggle that erupts from the direction of the audience, but it's kind of hard to tell who it comes from. Okay.
Love it.
At the
Are you
end
sure
of
it
the
wasn't on
round.
the other side of Albert?
At the end of the round, there's a sudden whirl, a sudden disturbance in the waters around you. What is everyone's passive perception?
19.
Okay, Garen sees it.
13.
Okay, you don't see it.
Me neither, Ben.
Okay. Finn, what is your passive perception?
I can't find it.
It's okay, I'll help you look for it.
Oh, passive percent with 12.
12. Okay, you don't see. So, Garen, you're the only one to see this. You see these lurching shapes pulling out of the swamp. And as they come out, some screams begin to erupt from the people that are watching. You see, to the north, to the south, these large vine-like creatures, these mounds of plant material begin to pull out and hungrily advance. Why are you laughing, Emma? Huh?
These mounds that are shambling.
Why you gotta laugh like that, Emma? Huh?
No, sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. I love it. Don't stop. Okay. Arlen, it's your turn.
Can Garen respond right now, or do I have to wait until my
Oh,
turn?
you can respond, yeah.
Yeah. Garen shouts, "In the water! Creatures!"
All right. Arlen fires a guiding bolt at Albert.
Okay. This will be at advantage because Albert's fucking distracted.
A 9 on both.
Wow, that's not gonna hit, baby.
Damn.
I think we see this funny, like, he's like, trying to stamp out the fire, and then this, like, massive bolt of light just kind of, like, zooms past him. Oh, roll me a d20. Let's see if it hits the shambling mound. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
It just goes
and
out into
then-
the bog.
Arlen's just gonna move up.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Tis.
Okay. Garen, it is now your turn.
Alrighty. So Garen's gonna turn on this mound of plant matter that's shambling out of the water.
Okay, we'll say the northern one has red flowers that are budding out of it, and the southern one has blue flowers.
Right. Yeah, he's targeting the blue one.
Mhm.
He's going to use steady aim again to attack. So
All right. That's going to be 26. That absolutely hits. Just 26 damage. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Okay. Yes. You hit it square. It is a very large creature. It seems pretty hard to miss, honestly. As your arrow cuts through the air, you see that it slices through a number of vines and they slough off, and you hear the as they fall into the swamp. It's a pretty sizable blow here. Anything else for you?
that's it.
Okay. The ranger looks to you, Pole, and she kind of recoils a bit. She seems uncertain at the raised voices, looks around, sees the shambling mounds making their way forward. She says, those aren't with you, are they?
What?
Over there, behind you.
Oh, hey, that bunch of rotten plants wasn't here before.
She kind of put her bow down from you, and she says, I think we need to deal with those first. Don't you agree?
All right, sure.
Truce?
All right, I'll shake on it.
She reaches forward quickly, shakes your hand. She says, all right, we've got this. And she will step back and draw her bow, and you see her try to shoot the shambling mound. She is this one short. Oh, that's a short sword. She rolls a nat 1. You see her attack just goes wide and disappears into the bog. Okay, the warrior, incensed by the taunting of Finn, ignores everything around him.
I figured, yeah.
Yeah, and he tries to slam his longsword into you. 21.
Ow!
Slams it again. Does a 15 hit you?
Actually, wait, hold on. Where'd my sheet go? Ha! It misses.
Okay, so you take 8 slashing damage. Shah! And he whiffs on the second hit. It's gonna be his turn there. Pole, it is your turn.
You said 8 damage, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, well. Pole is going to move away this way. Does the warrior attack me as I leave?
We'll say that he's literally incensed and just kind of wailing into Finn. He has his back to you, so no.
All right, cool. Then I'm gonna go. Let's see, how far is it? I'm gonna get up to this one and cast another. I'm gonna just keep the blade ward going.
Okay, very good. You see, as you're approaching the massive vines, it almost seems that a mouth forms. There's a gaping hole between the writhing mass of plants, and there's a void inside of this thing. You can tell that this is not a creature. It is very much an enchanted mass of something evil and hungry, and it is looking to snack. All right, Finn, it is your turn.
Well, I was wrong. You were able to get another shot in. However, last time you were to get both shots, and you only got one this time, so.
He's so mad. Grr.
Well, grr to this, and he uses his great club.
Okay, 11 will not hit.
Oh, damn.
You missed! A 9 will not hit.
Shit.
You missed again!
The fin is visibly a little bit more hurt than normal, so the swings are just not as aimed right as he thought they were.
Unfortunate. Alright, did you want to move at all?
Nah, I feel like I'm in combat fully with this person at this moment, so...
So the way that movement works when you have someone with a melee weapon next to you, you can essentially move around them and you don't get an attack of opportunity. So just letting you know that it is an option.
Yeah, I guess I don't see a reason Finn would move to the side of him, so...
Yeah, no worries. Okay, it is now the Shambling Mound's turn. You see, without any sort of eyes or indication of intelligence or a willingness to communicate, the mound brings down these large arms. It has a multi-attack here, and it will try to slam into Pole. Does a 15 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. And a 10. No. Okay, you take 12 bludgeoning damage. As it brings down its arms, it seems to be trying to more or less grab you into a sort of hug in a restraining motion, but you manage to weave away from the second arm and you are not engulfed. 12 bludgeoning damage.
All right, and the blade ward brings that down to half. So
Very
I'll just
good.
take 6.
We see the one down here. 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, the Shambling Mound pulls itself towards the center of the battlefield here, and what's its reach? It can only reach Albert. That's so funny. Okay, 9's not gonna hit. 11's not gonna hit. It tries to reach forward and pull Albert into its body, but you can see that he goes, ah! Ah!
Maybe these shambling mounds aren't too bad, guys.
That's gonna be the end of its turn. It's Albert's turn. What's Albert gonna do? What is Albert gonna do? Okay. We see him cast Misty Step for a third and final time here. 5, 10,
Shocker.
15, 20, 25, 30. He reappears over here, and he looks over at the ranger and says, "What the fuck are you doing? Attack them!" And she says, "We've got bigger problems." He will raise up his staff and try to hit Arlen with more magic missiles, this time at 2nd level. So that's gonna be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's 8, 9, 10, 14 damage as these tulips, blah, 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 smash into you, Arlen.
Cool.
That's his turn. It is now your turn.
Great. I'm gonna run up to him and I will.
He
We'll
looks
go
very badly hurt, by the way.
Perfect. I love that. We'll go ahead and do inflict wounds at a 1st level.
Okay. You have to beat a 15. Okay.
Don't actually have advantage.
Okay. 14. I think your fingers kind of brush his clothing, but he pulls away. Anything else for you?
I push him over. No, that's my turn.
He says, "Don't touch me! You are unworthy!" Garen, it is your turn.
All right. So Before I take this turn, this is probably a time when Garen was very desperately wishing he was hidden. Would this be a time to have that invisibility happen? And would it take his whole action to happen?
Ooh! Okay, so this is the first time that you're doing that.
Yes. He doesn't know he's doing it.
Yes. Okay, hold on. The camera.
How do we want to roleplay this?
Oh, that's 100% up to you, my dear. We see the camera pull in to Garen. There's this chaotic scene in front of you of these creatures pulling in. They're screaming on the edges of this battle here. There's confusion between your companions with some of the enemies. What does this look like as this manifests for the first time? You can take total creative liberty here. You can do whatever you want. It will cost you an action.
All right. Yeah, Garen actually hesitates. He sees Pole alone against the red flowers. Arlen is chasing down that flipping wizard. Arrogant cocks. Anyway.
Me or the
And-
wizard?
Yes. And, you know, he's like, if that thing comes after me, that's going to be bad for me. I need to help Pole. No one's helping either of us. And he just feels this need to be unseen. He knows he can do so much damage if he's unseen. And then he doesn't know it, but he just fades. All light melts away. He turns white, and then even that's gone.
I think as you are fading, you don't realize that it's happening to you. But on the edge of your perception, especially because your passive perception is so high, you could swear for a split second you see a blood moon manifesting in the sky. But you blink and it's gone. It reminds you of that night where the group of you were on the ship witnessing the blood moon, and then the fucking wild ass dream that y'all collectively had afterwards.
Right.
You remember the three-eyed goat, the hags and the water, the promise. And as you're lifting up your weapon, you realize that your weapon is floating in the air. Your hands are unseen. You are effectively invisible now.
That's his equipment didn't go invisible too?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Invisibility does affect everything on you.
That's
So,
what I thought.
yeah. You lift it up and you see nothing. You can feel lifting it up, but you see nothing. So that's your action.
Yeah.
What's your bonus action?
Well, I mean, do I need to roll hide at this point or no? I don't know.
You are hidden.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he could use a bonus action to kind of move up here further.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. The ranger tries to take another shot at the shambling mound to the north. 12 is not going to hit. She goes, damn it! I'm trying not to hit your friend. The warrior, on his turn, goes, fuck you! 15, 14. What's your armor class? 16? Neither of those hit. You see that he is just blindly flailing his weapon at you, and he's also missing. Pole, it is now your turn.
All right, Pole's just gonna try and keep this thing distracted so it doesn't hit any of his friends, and hopefully Garen can take it out. He casts Blade Ward again and goes, I've seen better compost in Ammonford Alley.
It goes. Does that have a language? No, it doesn't. Okay. Finn, it's your turn.
Let me, there we go. Okay. He'll look down. He'll kind of look down. So as he's doing this, he's does he look like he's bent over hurt, or what is his demeanor as he's trying to like stab me the 2 times he missed?
Oh, he is bleeding profusely. His armor's dented. He's dropped his sword, and he's just trying to hit you with his sword as if it's like a club almost. He's really hurt, but all he's focusing on is you.
Yeah. Well, let me try and put you out of your misery, my friend. Good try though. Oh,
That's
fuck!
not one.
God.
Oh shit. All right, let me try again.
15 will hit.
Nice.
He dropped his shield. Okay, that's 2 Hunter's Mark damage and 5, so that's 7 damage. You smack him with your great club. He goes, "That's more like it. You fight hard, I'll fight harder back." Do you want to move at all?
I guess I'll move right next to him this way.
It's now the Shambling Mound's turn. The one engaged with Pole goes, "Oh, that's a crit." And a 16.
That'll hit too.
Okay, you take 32 damage from the first hit. And then
So
you take
16.
Yep, oh god, your Blade Ward really fucking worth it right there. Holy shit.
Right.
And then you take 7 bludgeoning damage with the other hit.
All right.
So with the multi-attack here, when you are hit with both attacks, you are now grappled. The escape DC is 14, and it will try to use Engulf on you. Does it use it on it this turn?
Probably.
Okay, yes, yeah. Okay, so what you see is it slams both of its arms into you, Pole, and its mouth opens up and it swallows you. You are now inside of the Shambling Mound. You are blinded, restrained, unable to breathe, and on the start of the mound's turns, you have to make a Constitution saving throw. If the mound moves, you move with it. So you are now inside this little guy. To the front. There you go. Inside his little belly. But you don't have to make the save on this turn yet. Okay. The one with the blue flowers, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It will dash. It's pulling itself, and you see that it's beginning to crawl towards Finn. That's going to be its turn. The mage says, "I deserve this contract. I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that we get it." And he will cast... Magic Missile on you at first level.
He's a big fan of that spell.
Yeah, he has quite a few other ones, but he already burned most of his high-level slots. Okay, so that's gonna be 13 damage as 3 tulips hit you. How are you looking?
I've still got 26 health.
It is your turn. He looks like a stiff wind is gonna knock him the fuck out.
Great. I'm gonna go ahead and just cast Spiritual Weapon
Ooh.
and summon it to be like right next to me.
Okay.
And then I'll hit him with it.
Yes.
It's gonna be D20 plus 6. 8. Nope. And then I'll go ahead and let's see. Oh, you know what? I could have just done. Can I just hellish rebuke him again?
Oh yeah,
from
for
when
sure.
he hit me?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
great.
What save was that?
A dexterity save.
Okay. He did not save. Okay, 16 definitely takes him down. So as the fires erupt up, you see him panic, and he just seems to pass out. He begins hyperventilating and falls over. So that was effectively before your turn. So do you still want to cast your spiritual weapon?
Yeah, but if it's okay, I'll probably put it. No, I'm gonna put it by Pole's one.
Okay. I think you should be able to control it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And then you can go ahead and roll another attack. It's fine.
What a kind and benevolent GM.
You say that now.
I
I still have a pocket nat 20. Thanks, Schroeder. I remembered that from last time.
You don't need that though.
I think I do.
Does a 16 hit?
The Shambling Mound's AC is 15. That does hit.
Okay. Takes 8 points of force damage.
Okay.
Then I am going to use the fan favorite Channel Divinity Twilight Sanctuary.
Okay. What is
So I
this
can
again?
grant basically this huge aura of twilight kind of swirls around me. There are like stars shining in it. And when an ally ends their turn in the sphere, I can grant them temporary hit points.
Very cool. Does everyone see that? The ring?
Yes.
Okay.
I see it. And then Arlen's gonna move over here, and maybe more like here. And then I'm going to end my turn, and I'll grant myself some HP.
Okay.
So it's a D6 plus 3, so I get 5 temporary hit points.
Very good. That's a very powerful turn there. Garen, it is your turn.
All right. So Garen is going to use steady aim again to give himself advantage.
Okay.
And since he has surprise on the Shambling Mound, right?
Yes, you do.
That means he gets
Break out of your
assassinate,
invisibility.
and if it hits, it crits.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice. Gotta roll 15. That's an 18. That
Hey
hits.
yo!
Okay.
And then I'm gonna re-roll that one
Okay.
using Piercer. Let me roll that.
Oh, that sucks. Okay.
So it's the same damage, so double.
Doubles the sneak attack, doubles the regular attack. So that's going to
Yep.
be 26, 40,
46.
damage. 46 damage.
All right.
Damn.
And because of Piercer again, which here I'll link that in chat. Should have done that. Sorry.
It's okay.
He gets to roll an extra 1d6 because it's a crit.
Yup.
Don't be one again. All right. So another
49 damage. Jesus. Okay. Yes. I think you end up hitting it straight into one of its arms, one of its like hinges almost, and the creature loses an entire arm here. And you can see that the swirling mass of its center form begins to expand a bit, and you realize that it's holding Pole inside.
Yeah, I was figuring Garen actually saw it grab Pole.
With that passive perception 19, you see everything all the time.
Yeah, right. Not much gets past Garen.
All right, very good.
So yeah, he's gonna shout, "Save Pole! He's in the red one!" Since the attack would have broken his invisibility.
Yes, you are no longer invisible. Okay. It is the ranger's turn. She says, "I'm trying." Oh, she rolled in 21. Okay, she did
Nice.
7 piercing damage. The Shambling Mound goes. Meanwhile, this mini duel here in the middle. You see that the warrior takes the longsword with both hands now. Goes, "Ah!" Okay. Oof. All right.
Ow!
They both hit. 13 slashing damage on the first one, 6 slashing damage on the second one. You take 19 damage here.
Jesus.
How are you looking?
I'll tell you here in just a second, once I can do quick math. You said 19?
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm getting a little dizzy.
Okay.
A little dizzy.
Pole, it's your turn. You're inside of this thing. You are
Guess I
blinded,
make that
restrained.
save.
Yeah, this. It's on the mound's turn, so you don't have to do it quite yet.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So how's Pole reacting to being swallowed by plants?
Well, on the one hand, it sucks. But on the other hand, well, he eats nothing but plants himself, so it's kind of poetic justice.
So as far as what you can do here, you don't really attack things though. That's interesting.
I can make an escape check, right? Or something like that, like
Yeah. Escape DC 14.
all right. That's what he's gonna try and do. Just kind of swim out of it.
Yes. So that's going to be you can use strength or dexterity here. Up to
I'll
you.
go with dexterity.
You have to beat a 14.
All right.
That's
Nope.
a 7. You try to pull out. You find that the inside of the shambling mound is very slick, and it smells absolutely awful within. The smell of rot and decay filling your nostrils, and it's very disorienting. Unfortunately, that's going to be the end of your turn. Unless you have a bonus action.
Nope.
Okay.
That's it.
Finn, it's your turn. You have heard Garen call out to save Pole. This person is flailing into you. You can see that the warrior is hurt too. Probably in a better position than you are right now.
Ugh. We seem to be formidable foes, and as Finn says that, he overhears that, but does he also see the monster with the blue flowers?
Oh yeah. I mean, you can absolutely hear it coming. It goes, I'm gonna eat you, Finn. Just kidding, it doesn't say that.
It speaks common. How about that? He'll look at the warrior and he'll go, look, how about a temporary truce? I don't know how much hit points you have, or I don't know how much health you have. I know how much health I have. We might need to focus our whatever energy you have left on this thing.
Okay. Do you want to try to roll a persuasion check here?
If it comes to that, yeah.
It sounds like you try and persuade him.
Okay, yeah. I was
Roll me
yeah.
persuasion. Or you can try to intimidate him if you say that, but like mean.
Yeah, I'm better at intimidation, so let's do that.
Okay.
Our mean way of saying everything. Fuck.
That's a nat 1.
My voice cracks trying to say it mean.
Hold on, let's see how. He rolls a 2. Okay, no, it somehow still works. He says, if you say that I won our duel, then I'll help you. Do you concede?
Don't do that, Finn.
Do you concede?
Why do you gotta be so difficult? Look at this thing. We need to use both of our strengths.
I'm not gonna help you unless you say you lost.
Don't do it. Says the Arlen bird on your shoulder.
It says the Ireland bird on your shoulder. If you want to make this all about your ego, fine. And he'll turn around and he'll hit the monster over here.
Okay. Do it, attack, he says. All right.
By just to clarify, when I said fine and ran over, it wasn't me conceding.
No,
it was
you
me...
said fine. You
No,
conceded.
no.
I heard
No.
it. I heard it. The mound heard it. Wait, He points over at the ranger. He says, Elsa heard it. Elsa shrugs.
Okay. Goes after the monster.
Okay. 22 absolutely hits. That's gonna be bludgeoning damage. Okay. Cool. That's 6 damage. Blap. Did you want to, by any chance, move your hunter's mark over towards it?
I was gonna ask if I could, but I wasn't sure if I had to take. Okay. Well,
so
then,
we'll just say, like, your bonus action, you did that.
Okay.
So it takes 3 additional damage.
Okay. And then I get one more shot at it, right?
Yes, please attack again. A 12 will not hit, unfortunately.
So, as I mentioned before about, because I know that my hunter's mark has changed a little bit. As I mentioned before with the one where I tapped on the shoulder, my hunter's mark from this point on has been flowing through my great club. So as it's hitting, it still has a purple glow to it as it hits, instead of it just being like tapping or however I did it last time. It's been within the great club the whole time after that.
Okay, very nice. It's now the Shambling Mound's turn. All right.
So now I make that save.
You do. You have to beat a 14 Constitution saving throw.
There it goes.
Wow. Holy shit. You rolled a 14. Okay. Damn. That's really good. Okay, you are holding your breath while you're inside of this thing. Your lungs are burning and you feel your body is just aching with pain here. But you're able to hold on just a little longer. The Shambling Mound will begin to head over... Wait, here, let's roll. It begins to head over towards Garen. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It will dash as it begins to... Its big belly swaying as it's moving, tossing and tumbling, pull inside. The one with the blue flowers here will try to hit Finn. Slam. Slam. It misses with the first hit, but the second hit smacks you across the side and you take 14 bludgeoning damage.
God damn. 14 bludgeoning damage?
Yeah, just 14.
Cool, I'm now -4.
Okay.
Did you take my temp HP?
You healed 7 temp HP.
Okay, well then I'm still up.
Okay.
At 3.
Yep.
Okay, very good. Yeah, it hits you and you see stars and you feel extremely woozy, but you're still up. He's gone. Okay. Arlen, it is your turn.
Okay. As a bonus action, golly, gonna move my spiritual weapon 20 feet. I can't move it any further than that. Let's see.
Actually, since we're at the top of the order here, do we want to take a quick break?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
with
Okay.
that.
Yeah, sure.
Combat's been running a little long, but I want to make sure everyone has a chance to stretch and grab hydration and all that.
That's
So
fair.
at the top of the round here, we will be back in about 5 minutes. Please join us in doing a little stretch, use the bathroom, all that stuff. Be right back. All right, top of the order here. We resume into combat. Emma, it is your turn.
Top of the morning to you. Okay, so I moved my spiritual weapon,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna move here.
Okay.
Then I'm going to cast Gust of Wind
Okay.
to create a strong gust of wind going this direction.
All right. Each
So-
creature. Strength saving throw. Go ahead and describe what this does and what it looks like.
Yeah, so Arlen just kind of gets into position where her twilight area is hitting all of her friends still. And then she kind of whistles out to the wilds, because this isn't a spell, it's a racial ability.
Ooh.
And suddenly the wind starts kind of gathering around her and then just pushes out towards the shambling mound and starts trying to like push it.
Okay.
And then at the start of its turn, it has to make a strength saving throw or be pushed 15 feet away.
All right.
Push it real good.
But that's my turn.
All right.
And
Next
then
is
that's for temp HP.
very good. Now it is Garen's turn.
All right. So Garen is yeah, he doesn't like this thing being right in his face, so he's gonna disengage and then run down here. That's 30 feet, right?
That's 25.
25. Okay. So get to there.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to shoot. Unfortunately, he no longer has sneak attack because pull doesn't count while inside, I'm sure.
No.
Unfortunate.
I push his belly out.
You're like, here! Unfortunately, no.
All right. So
Oh,
And
here,
because
I'll
he-
say, just for fun, it'll give you a +1 to hit.
okay.
Just +1.
So that with your
That
plus one, that's
hits.
16.
Yeah, 9 damage, piercing.
All right.
Okay, use the arrow, hits the creature, and then you see the vines slowly pulling the arrow into it.
You know what? I'll even add some flavor as to why it was less damage. Garen, as he runs, he quick turns and fires the arrow while he's in the air instead of taking his normal characteristic moment to aim, and skids to a stop.
I like it. Okay. You see here on the ranger's turn, she wheels her short bow around, goes, ah! And she shoots a shot at the blue-flowered shambling mound. 14 will not hit. She seems quite shaken. The warrior says, I won. You said it. And he'll walk up towards the shambling mound and try to hit it. Two-handed longsword. Hiya! They both miss. That's unfortunate. Pole, it is your turn. It smells like ass. Hot,
thought it
stinky
smelled like-
ass.
Grass.
Hot, stinky ass grass.
All right. I'm gonna try and get out.
Escape DC 14, strength
Once
or dex.
more with
Saving
feeling.
throw.
Yeah,
Whoa!
I'm out of here.
That's a nat 20. All right, describe to me what this looks like.
All right, I was pushing the belly forward so that Garen could shoot it, and the arrow, though it didn't do much damage, made a little hole, and I was able to get my fingers inside and pull, and I get my head out, and then I push my way the rest of the way out and tumble out onto the ground, stand up, and shake myself.
With like a,
Yeah.
you are spat out.
This is like the scene from Ace Ventura: Pet
That's what I was
Detective
thinking too.
when he's crawling out of the rhino.
Oh
Yes.
my god.
Oh.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yep. Okay. So that is your action. Anything else you want to do?
Oh, well, I want to get some of those sweet, sweet temp hit points.
Yeah. Get 8,
Five.
right?
So that's for Garen, because I forgot to roll for Garen. So Garen, if 8 is more than you have now, then you get that. And then Pole, you get 4. Sorry.
Thanks.
Can I give Paul the 8 since I won't get them?
That's not how it works. It's all we.
All right, as you were.
Finn, it's your turn.
And very painfully, Finn will say, "That's why you didn't win." After he missed both his shots.
No.
And and so he goes to use his great club.
Okay, 21 hits.
Ah.
4
Oh, yeah.
bludgeoning damage. Do your hardness
no.
mark. 6 damage. Okay.
One more time with more feeling. No.
13's a miss.
Damn it.
It's you. I still win.
I got at least one shot in. You didn't win.
I still win. Okay, it is
No.
the Shambling Mound's turn.
The
You see
one by Fen needs to make a strength save.
That's true. Let me do that real quick. It rolled an 18.
That's a success.
Okay. The wind buffets against it, and you see that its little moundy feet, the roots begin to burrow into the ground, just narratively, as it stands strong. The Shambling Mound on Pole will try to hit you. It only has one arm. It rolled a 9.
I'll miss.
It misses.
Because that would have hurt.
Yes. The one that resisted the buffet will try to hit the warrior with a... the first hit misses. The second slaps 12 bludgeoning damage on him. You see that it knocks him off to the side. He falls over. He gets back up. He looks really fucked up. Arlen, it is your turn. Before your turn. Roll me a perception check.
I'm famously great at those.
17. Okay. You see, as you're preparing your next move, off to the side in the direction that you had come from, someone appears to be running towards the group of you. With a 17, you can identify it as Eleander Fireborn, captain of the guard, is rushing over, drawing their weapon.
Okay.
Seems help is
Ooh.
coming.
Cool. Then I'm gonna move my spiritual weapon a little bit more and attack this shambling mound with it.
Okay.
That's gonna be a miss.
That is a miss with an 11, unfortunately.
Then I think it's more important for me to stay here.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna grab a spear off my back and I'm gonna throw it.
Ooh, okay. 17 is a hit.
Deals 4 points of damage.
Very good. You see a spear is just now half embedded inside this creature and it's wobbling around dangerously.
Dope.
Okay. End of your turn?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next is Garen.
All right. So Garen is going to take aim at Red again.
Mhm.
He's got sneak attack this time.
Mm-hmm.
Still gonna use steady aim, even though he's got pull there, so he can get advantage.
Mm-hmm. 16 is a hit.
All right.
So that
Yeah.
is 21 damage.
All right. Well, I'm gonna use Piercer to reroll one of those ones.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
Damn. 21 damage. Okay, you can see that the shambling mound there with the red flowers is struggling to stay up at this point. It seems very hungry and intent on trying to scoop Pole up ineffectually with its one arm. Do you want to move? Oh,
I
use
can't.
steady aim. That's right.
Steady aim. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. It is now Elsa's turn. She will try to shoot. Bloop. 17 is a hit. damage. Just 4 damage to the one with the blue flower. Okay. It is the warrior's turn. The warrior goes. He hits both times. He does 17 damage here. And he looks over to Finn. That's how you do it. Pole, it's your turn.
Well, I hope I didn't give you indigestion. And I'll cast another Blade Ward.
Okay.
And I'll just stand in front of it, waving around. Let my friends take some attacks at it while it goes after me.
Oh my god, okay. Finn, it's your turn.
He will raise his great club and swing at it again.
Okay.
Oop.
A 16 is a hit.
Okay.
Roll your Hunter's Mark damage. Wow, that's beefy Hunter's Mark. That's 10 damage there total. And then you also get another attack.
One more.
11 is gonna miss.
Damn.
Says that was a good hit. Too bad you couldn't follow up.
Quiet you.
Okay. And you heal 8 temporary hit points. Okay, it is the Shambling Mound's turn. It will make a strength save. 12. It fails.
Nice. So it gets pushed 15 feet back.
5, 10, 15. Very good. Okay. And then on its turn, it'll try to move forward. 5, 10. Are there any special rules against moving towards it? Does it count as difficult terrain?
Yeah, if it's moving in the line, like towards the direction it's like blowing in, then yeah, it's basically difficult terrain.
Okay, cool. Move 10 feet, that's its maximum move anyway. So you see that it struggles against this supernatural wind tunnel. It pulls itself across the marsh here, and you see these deep rents into the bog as it's pulling forward. It can only go as far as the warrior, and it hits. As the warrior takes that first hit, dodging the second, you see him take it right to the gut, and he falls over unconscious.
Oh.
The mound that's on pole, it continues to try to scoop you up with its one arm. 24.
Oh.
It hits you. You take 6 bludgeoning damage.
I'll make that 3.
Are you still up?
Oh yeah, that's 10 hit points.
Okay. You are standing as strong as you can. At the end of that round, Arlen, you see on the edge of the battlefield here is Eleander Fireborn. He has a spear lifted up. It's a range of 20 to 60. Okay. You see him raise up a spear and try to throw it at the shambling mound. It will be at disadvantage. Ooh, 21 still hits. Okay. With a mighty throw, you see him widen his stance, and his peg leg pushes into the mud here, and he hefts a spear towards the shambling mound, and with startling power, it erupts into the side of it as it takes 6 piercing damage. This man knows how to throw. Okay, Arlen, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to attack it with my spiritual weapon.
Okay.
4 points of damage.
Okay. Very good.
I'm
It's very wibbly wobbly.
gonna move in because Finn has almost max temp HP anyway.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hit it with my club.
Yeah, do it. 27 absolutely hits. Tell me what this looks like.
Nice.
Nice.
So my spiritual weapon, just as a reminder, looks like a spirit version of the sea lily, and kind of like those rides on like at amusement parks where it's just big ships kind of like swinging back and forth. It's kind of doing that the whole time, and it crashes into the shambling mound, and then I rush up and do like a cool jump and then swing my club down and hit it on its arm that was just attacking Pole, and then it falls.
As it falls, there's an audible splat as all the vines unfurl and relax, going limp. The creature is felled and it does not move again.
Nice. And then that's my... I'm gonna move like 5 feet back over here.
Okay.
But then that's my turn.
Very good. It is now Garen's turn. You easily
Alright.
clock Eleander Fireborn on the edge of the battlefield.
I'm gonna move my
Alright.
spiritual weapon too.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, Garen will notice Fireborn. Watch Arlen finish off the mound and turn after Blue.
This other shambling mound, as you look at it, it seems to be standing quite strong still.
All right. Well, he is going to use steady aim and fire at it.
Okay, that's a hit.
17. All right.
That is
And
going to be 25 damage.
1. So I will re-roll that one.
Okay.
Really, Piercer? 3 times now.
So Garen has a feature called Piercer that lets him re-roll one of his ones on his damage die, and every single time he's rolled a
Yeah.
1.
Yep. For chat, there it is in the chat again.
Oh, they can't see the
they
yeah.
can't. Okay.
Okay.
1 is the pierciest number, though.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's so true. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
25 damage here. Very sizable hit. It's still up.
All right.
Do you want
Too
to move?
bad. He can't after steady
Oh,
aim.
right. That's right. Okay. Elsa goes, this time I'll hit it. I know. Nope, she misses. That guy is out. Okay. Pole, it is your turn.
All right, we took care of one salad.
Arlen, as Pole kind of like walks by you, he is so stanky right now.
I could use some more of those temp hit points.
Are you ending your turn in my circle?
I am. I'm going there and I'm going to cast another Blade Ward.
You get 5.
Very nice. Okay. Eleander Fireborn rushes forward. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. How far away is he? That's 65 feet. You see him pull out a head. Well, that's not him. Okay, he's just gonna rush forward. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He uses the dash movement. You see Eleander Fireborn running like a track star here in heavy armor. He's got a number of spears on his back. He pulls out a shield.
I'm gonna give him 4 temp HP as well.
Hell yeah. Cool. That's his turn. Finn, it's your turn.
He'll sort of look down at the fallen warrior and be like, you know, I can respect you. I can respect you a little bit more. Sounds like you needed that victory more than I did, but you know what it is. And he'll kind of move past him a
Hella
little bit.
unconscious and cannot hear you.
Oh, I know. He's basically saying this to him.
Yeah.
And he looks over and he's like, "Let's try and finish this." And then he's gonna use his great club.
Yeah. Roll higher than a 15.
I
That's a
rolled
hit.
22.
That hits. Okay, that's 10 damage. Very good.
Please go above 15 again.
23, that's a
Yeah.
hit. Okay. That's 16 damage.
Jesus.
Very, very good rolls there.
hmm
All right, it is still up. It looks pretty messed up now.
Of course, he's down when I do these great hits.
Yeah, no, he didn't see any of it. Elsa's like, I saw it, don't worry. All right, it is the
Comes up from behind him.
shambling mound's turn. It turns towards you, Finn.
It needs to make a strength saving throw.
It's gonna make a strength saving throw and it fails. 5, 10, 15. We see it being pushed back by Arlen's gust of wind. Goes, oh, 5, 10. That's its turn.
Nice.
Actually, it's gonna dash and stop. Okay. Arlen, it's your turn.
Great. I'm gonna move my spiritual weapon another 20 feet and attack with it.
Okay.
Kerp chow.
12 is
That's
a
a
miss.
miss. Then I'm gonna move up here.
Okay.
You know what I've been forgetting this whole time? I have Eldritch Blast. So I'm going to Eldritch Blast at it.
Hell yeah.
That doesn't roll it. Okay. And I don't have a thing. Okay, so it's gonna be +6. An 8. Nope, that's a miss.
What does your Eldritch Blast look like, even though it misses?
So I think it looks like a lion's paw, just kind of like scratching out through the air and then raking at the enemy. But it misses this time.
Okay. Very good. End of your turn?
Yep.
All right. Garen, it's your turn.
Alrighty. This round's same as the last. Steady aim and fire.
28's a hit. All right. You want to re-roll that one on your sneak attack?
Yes. Watch it's 1 again.
Yay, it's not.
Oh, that's
Okay.
2.
That's going to be a 13 plus 9, 22 damage.
Yep.
All right. It looks like, oh God, it has 1 hit point left, y'all.
Are you kidding me? You're kidding me.
It takes this like sizable hit. You see that it sways from the blow. Oh my God, is Elsa gonna kill steal here?
my
Oh my God.
After all those misses.
She rolled an 18. She hits.
Oh my
We
gosh.
need a hero!
It's so
I love it.
funny. You see it's like stumbling. It's like it takes this blow, and then Elsa's like, "I've got this," and twing, smacks it into the side, and the creature falls, felled, unmoving. As it
Are you going to concede, Elsa?
Oh, yes, of course. Look at them. She gestures at the rest of her party, just unconscious all around you. You see Eleander Fireborn, heaving breath, lowers his weapon, looks over to you. Garen gives you a knowing nod.
Garen looks at him. Glad to see you haven't lost your edge.
Unfortunate it took so long for me to get here, but I had to make sure that the rest of the council was safe. This
You
was
did your duty.
unprecedented. Well, do we have any casualties? Report.
No,
Two side salads, no dressing.
the others were knocked unconscious, but they're not dead.
Good.
We might want to look into the warrior. It wasn't one of us that felled him.
Elsa pokes her boot, prodding Albert. He's still alive over here.
Arlen will check to make sure the warrior's not dying.
I was gonna say, I figure like Finn's over there with his boot as well, or his like club, just kind of like poking at him.
Okay. Both of you roll me medicine checks. Wow, not 20 from
Oh,
Arlen.
wow.
Edison.
Okay, that's
Aw,
a
man.
12 from Finn. Finn, you're not sure. He looks fucked up. Arlen, he's dying but not dead.
All right, I'm just gonna stabilize him.
Okay. You can narratively flavor this however you want. What does it look like?
She just kind of takes some bandages out of her bag and wraps up the wounds, puts pressure and like maybe a salve or like a little like thing on them so they start healing and he's not bleeding out anymore. I'm out of spells, so I
Yeah.
can't really
Okay.
just heal him.
Yeah. He's effectively stabilized. You save his life.
All right, that one was dying. That wasn't our fault, but he's fine now.
And you can tell that the cleric is totally fine too, just unconscious.
Did any of these things come and attack anyone else, or just us?
There was another one. It approached the council members and we managed to fell it. The guard and I.
Good.
Can I search the body? I'm curious if one of those like glowing crystals is in it.
Ooh, yes. You can roll investigation, perception, or arcana. Different
They're
information for
All
of
the
them.
same.
Well, it's different information for all of them.
But it Arcana,
Games,
investigation,
perception.
and what else?
Perception. Garen, which one are you investigating?
Oh, I'd say Garen's going over to red.
Okay.
It's-
I already looked in there.
I mean, he's not wrong. Wow.
But actually, I couldn't see nothing.
Okay, with a 22 Arcana from Arlen, 14 Perception from Garen, Finn, go ahead and roll me Perception, please. Accidentally rolled Persuasion.
Oh man.
It's okay, they're right next to each other. It's super easy to mix them up.
Ah,
I do it all the time.
I do it all the time too.
Mm-hmm.
wait,
Yeah.
hold on.
Start with the same 3 letters.
Oh.
God damn it.
Oh.
That's in that one. Okay, it's really hard to tell, Finn. I think it mostly because you are very woozy. You have suffered a lot of injury here in this fight, and
Yeah.
you managed to hold this thing off for quite some time. You feel really winded. It's hard to focus on the finer details. With Garen, you're looking over this mound and you don't see any kind of anomalies, anything unusual. You're picking through the various vines, and it's mostly, there are some bones and some other bits and bobs that are telltale signs that the shambling mound has eaten other people, and they're in various stages of being digested, but beyond that, nothing really. Arlen, as you're looking over the creature, you don't find any crystals, but you're able to sense that there is a curse slowly fading away from this mound.
Paul will poke a stick in there and try and investigate.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to go to the red one or the blue one?
The red one is the one I was in, so I'll take a look at that one.
Okay. As with the 21 investigation, you're poking around. You see Garen as Garen is like looking through the bits. There's something a little familiar, something a little interesting. You pick out this small wooden totem. It's a little token. It makes you think about the tokens that y'all found under your pillows.
Oi!
That was a long time ago.
Right?
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
Seems like these things were cursed.
And as
Where'd
Arlen
you
says
find-
that, it confirms that this is probably a wooden token to you, Pole.
What did you find there, Paul?
Oh, it's one of these cursey things they put under our pillows when we try and sleep. Bastards. I'll toss
know.
it to you.
Yeah, it does look like that.
Are you both touching it with your bare hands?
Garen's wearing gloves.
Okay.
My hands are dirty.
Okay.
I've got mud on them.
Mm.
Protective mud layer.
We should bring this to Ella. See what she thinks of it.
Sure. She knows curses.
Indeed.
Elsa will step forward and, gesturing to the group of you, but speaking mostly to Eleander, says, "Well, sir, it's quite obvious that we have lost, even with the interruption of these creatures. They obviously had the upper hand here, and were simply better than my crew. If everything is all right, could I get a helping hand in moving my companions somewhere safer?" "Of course."
I'll give you a hand.
Indeed.
Will you?
And Garen would also help her collect all the arrows, sorting out hers, and as he hands her any of hers, he looks at her and says, "If you want some help with your aim, I'll meet you at the archery range."
Little date.
Wait, she says, "Was that a compliment or an insult or an invitation?"
Maybe a little of all.
"Oh,
A little
I'll think
insult.
about it." Oh, she blushes. So you're rubbing at one of her horns. Okay. Can you help me move gestures at the warrior Pharaoh?
Yeah.
Arlen will
Yeah.
help move the wizard.
Oh man, you pick
I-
him up. You don't need any help. This guy's just bones. Like
I
He weighs
honestly, I
80
don't
pounds
see
soaking
Arlen.
wet.
yeah.
Arlen's probably not picking him up. She's probably just grabbing an ankle and dragging him.
You could if you want.
Probably by his arm.
He wasn't in the gusting wind, was he?
No.
That would be miles away by now.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
All right. So we'll have the scene slowly fade to black as y'all make your way back towards Saltmarsh. As you make your way towards the snapping line, Hannah says, "I've prepared a number of baths for all of you, and I've brought some food up. There was a
All right.
courier that came by and... Not a courier, a messenger that came by and let us know that you were coming. Congratulations, by the way."
Thanks.
Thank you.
Weren't too hard.
Yeah, they were not much of a challenge.
Yeah,
Um,
not much at all. Nope.
Well, get some good rest. The news has already been presented to the council. I'm sure it'll only be a matter of time before they're ready to send you off.
Thank you for getting everything ready. I am going to retire to the bath.
Yes, of course.
Same here.
Same.
She looks at Pole.
You need
All
some
right.
help, then?
But
Are
first,
you well, Finn?
I'm going to spend an hour summoning Penny Whistle back.
Okay. She leaves, leaving the group of you to yourselves. Pole, do you want to do this right in this private lobby area? Do you want to go somewhere else?
I'll just bring my components to the bathroom when I have my bath, and I'll do it. I'll kill two birds with one stone.
Okay, I love it. All right, Pole has an armful of stuff and leaves the room.
It's a lot of toys for your bath.
It's the only way I can bring myself to do it.
All right, whatever helps.
Garen, you were speaking to Finn.
Yeah, Garen was gonna ask Finn, "Are you doing all right?" Somebody dropped click clacks.
I know exactly
Yeah,
what that was.
click,
It was your
clack.
tower,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It wasn't very
Tower.
high. I was just messing around.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm doing better than that other person who apparently fell out of the tub. I'm doing all right. I'll be all right. It's again with me. No matter how confident I go into battle, I just seem to almost get knocked down. So.
Yeah. Happens to the best.
I suppose.
You know, I remember a saying from when I was in the army. Doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down, just how many times you can get back up.
Well, I will say this time I was lucky and I didn't actually get completely knocked down. So,
True.
some kind
Even
of
though you-
positive.
Even though you did let the warrior win. And then he walks off.
I should have just got knocked down.
But I get up again. Never keep me down.
Yeah.
All right. Slowly, night begins to draw its dark veil over Saltmarsh as each one of you go your separate ways to unwind for the rest of the evening. Cole, what does it look like as you're casting this spell to summon Penny back?
Well, he places little things in a circle around the room that she likes. Honeysuckle flowers and pieces of cinnamon and little blades of sweet grass and a thimble full of berry juice. And then he just calls for her in a whisper at first, and then calls for her in a kind of a light speaking voice, and then a little bit louder each time. And eventually everyone can probably hear him yelling her name, and she goes, "Okay," shows up.
Penny embraces the side of your head, and she probably asks what kind of soap is in the tub. But there's this warm moment of the two of you reuniting, and she says, "I'm sorry that I wasn't able to help you with the fight, but I'm glad that I was able to make my way back to you."
Oh, that wizard was a jerk anyway. He went down like a wimp.
Yeah,
He
did
fell
you
on the
pummel
ground.
him?
Well, I didn't personally, but he got it.
Good. Glad. Bullies like that. Don't like them.
We won. We got the contract.
Of course you did. I'm proud of you.
Thanks. You're my best friend. I'm so glad to have you back.
Glad to
Can
be
you-
back.
Can you wash that bit right there? I can't reach.
Yes. And she's struggling with the sponge. She's like, "This is so heavy. I can't." Oh. And then the camera will swing away. Finn, as you finish up your bath and you head over to your quarters, Bims appears with a... Just gonna cance your head. His head. You can tell he's sniffing you, looking at you, worried.
It's all right, buddy. I'll be okay. I just need some rest.
See him eventually settle and splay out on your pillow. Is there anything that you want to do before you tuck in for the night?
For Finn, probably he'll just, He'll probably get into some kind of comfortable clothes, kind of reevaluate the clothes he has now to see if he can like possibly get whatever holes or rips that are in the anything. Probably try and get them fixed later on in the next day or something. Get that all organized, set around, and then he'll probably do what he does the majority of nights, which is just sit back and open his locket and talk to Abigail, and he'll just be, well, I'm improving. I didn't get completely knocked down, although there'll be a warrior running around saying he beat me for God knows how long. But that's whatever. But you've always taught me that the people who really want a victory that bad really need it. So maybe I did him a favor in the end. Who knows?
Roll me a perception check.
If I can do it right this time.
You got this.
Yeah.
8. Okay. You can
So-
hear.
Oh.
You can hear the low droning of people on the street outside. Bugs and bells from the distant dock.
Well, it sounds like it's gonna be a bit of a calmer night, hopefully. I have no idea what the heck what those things were. Hopefully we'll find out more about them. But as you know, we've done this over and over again. So many different animals and creatures that we've randomly discovered on our trips. Just glad to have a piece of you with me while I go through them. And tomorrow will be another day. Who knows? I'll take the fact that I finally didn't go down in a battle as a bit of a victory. And he'll give it a kiss, and he'll close up the locket, set it aside, and lay down.
Okay. The camera drifts over to Garen. Is there anything that you do tonight?
Garen actually does a hasty bath, just washes his armpits, his privates, and his face, and then he's actually going to go back to the boat for 2 things.
Okay.
One, he's going to make certain Barnacus hasn't shredded his room too heavily on the boat.
Ooh. This is gonna be a disadvantage. Okay. So as you get onto the boat, there's a bit of a commotion going on, and the first person that you bump into is Tully. And Tully goes, "I'm really glad you're here. There's been a bit of a development while you were gone."
Barnacus.
Yeah, he wasn't very happy that you were gone. We've been trying to, and you hear just unintelligible shouting coming from the direction of the rooms.
He didn't hurt anyone, and I hope no one hurt him. And he takes off running.
Yeah, about that. And as you take off running, you burst into the room, and you can see that Simona is holding a mop and trying to direct the creature. You see that Barnacus is trying to pounce and attack the end of the mop. And you see his like little tail waggling, little nubby tail waggling. Simona goes, "About time. This
Barnacus.
creature has no end to the well of energy. What great reserves."
Barnacus! Garen snaps his finger and points beside him. Does Barnacus respond?
Roll me animal handling. Are you proficient in animal handling?
No.
Okay. Roll at disadvantage then.
Oh, boy.
17. All right. You see Barnacus stops. Eyes going wide like dark saucers. And it begins charging at you. Can I get a Constitution saving throw?
Oh boy. He pounces on me, doesn't he?
Yeah. Okay, 18. You manage to catch the creature as it launches itself at you. Its little paws kind of extend the claws as it's launching up, but you scoop him up underneath his armpits and you hold him up. Sharp bits and ends out of the way. And it
All right.
still
I'm
lolls
sorry.
happily.
I'm very sorry I left you this long. The day went longer than I expected. Come on. We have somewhere to go. And he sets Barnacus down and hopes he follows.
Yes, as you begin to leave, Barnacus charges after you, occasionally bumping into your leg if you stop too quickly. We have a moment on the ship where Simona just leans up against the wall and says, "Oh, thank the gods."
And stop number 2 for Garen was to find Ella, who
Okay.
hopefully has not gotten herself into trouble also.
You find Ella deep in books, exactly where y'all left her. She goes, "Oh, hello there."
Why? So, got something for you here. Hands her the token that Paul got from the
Oh,
mound.
she seems to recognize what it is instantly. And you see her pull on gloves. And she takes it from you. Oh,
Glad I was wearing gloves from that reaction.
yes. This is a token created by a hag. Where did you find this?
It was in a shambling mound that attacked us during our competition.
Oh dear. That's no good. That's no good at all. She sits down in her chair, puts it down, looks at it thoughtfully. There have been several reports of suspicious activity coming from the Dreadwood.
These were in the swamps nearby.
That means the creatures, they were probably from the Dreadwood. That is quite a way for it to come. Interesting.
Well, I mean, they came out of the water. Could they have stayed underwater that whole way?
You said they were shambling mounds, right?
Yes.
Yes, they are able to traverse through water, actually.
Okay.
Give me the rest of the night. I'll see what I can come up with and let you know in the
Oh.
morning.
All right. I was going to invite you to take Barnacus out for a walk with me, but...
You see that she's already turning towards the books and she's already pulling them. She just kind of waves you off. No, I'll be here. Don't worry.
Okay. And he'll take Barnacus for a walk.
Okay. Very good. Arlen. What do you do to end the night?
Arlen's taken a bath for a while. Eating whatever was provided. Unless it's red meat. Hopefully it's fish. Okay.
You get the sense that by restoring the fish in Saltmarsh that there's going to be an endless supply of fish.
Beautiful. Eventually she gets out of the tub and will head over to her room. And as she does, she's going to grab her club and set it in front of her and meditate.
Okay. As you grab your club, even before you get into your meditative state, it feels unusually heavy tonight. You have drawn the Fool card. You must choose something to let go. Memory, a sense, a bond, whatever you want, and it doesn't have to be immediate. Do you want a minute to think?
Yeah.
Okay. As the scene fades to black, we have one last scene for the evening. We see over by... Shit, what was it called? The Empty Net. Down by the docks, there is a third tavern. One that Garen had paid a visit to. One night when he wanted to replenish his poisoner's kit. This particular tavern is not as welcoming or homey, doesn't have the same kind of patronage as the others. But it is in this establishment where Albert and the others seem to have taken residence temporarily, as they are gathered here at their own table, beaten and bruised. Elsa says to the warrior, "They saved your life. I saw it with my own eyes. You were dying, Pharaoh. It is very good that they were good enough people to consider you. In the aftermath of what happened..." Rare. He grumbles as he ladles fish soup into his mouth. Albert is leaning on the table, pouting. "I was certain that we would have gotten the contract. It is so unfortunate. But I suppose we can move on now. I didn't very much like this place to begin with. It has a certain smell that just doesn't seem to leave the nostrils," he says as he watches someone pass by, pinches his nose, and casts prestidigitation in the air around him. And the warrior leans back, cracks his knuckles. Well, if the intention is for everyone to leave Saltmarsh, I will regret to inform you, Albert, that I will be handing in my resignation." "Oh? Why is that, Pharaoh?" "Well, boss, I've got something that I want to keep an eye on. You know me. I've never been one to not finish a job." Finn, you have drawn the rogue card. You have a rival now.
Again?
Again.
More?
Oh, I thought he had a little crush.
I mean, I'm also open to rivals to lovers arcs, but of course it always depends on what the player wants.
Yes.
And the scene will fade to black. Arlen.
Stella, I've been thinking hard on it. I think I'm going to do us both a favor. Both a favor with this.
What kind of music should I put on? Something sad? Something creepy?
I think something sad.
Circus music? Okay, hold on. Sad music.
Circus.
So, as Arlen sits there, meditating with her club, the camera, thinking of something, her thoughts turn to the weird monkey hiding in the ship's vents. And as she's considering this monkey, thinking, hey, I should really check in on that, our camera shifts out of the hotel window, zooming towards the ship, the Sea Lily. And we see, crawling out of one of the vents, a strange-looking monkey. It looks around, then stealthily opens the door into the night, escaping into the town of Saltmarsh.
Oh my god, I love that so much. This weird fucking monkey is now loose. I love you so much.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh boy.
And that is where we will end our session for today. Good job, everybody. That was a hard combat, and y'all nailed
was.
it. Eleander Fireborn barely did anything at the end there. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Really, really appreciate it. We're going to go around now and reintroduce everyone. And please tell me what your favorite part of the episode was. And we'll start off with Zombie.
Hello, I'm Jacob. I'm Zombie. I am Z. I'm whatever his names have to call me. I am the Lord Keeper and Captain Z of the Good Ship Clip. I probably do too many clips. That's up to your own discretion. My favorite part for today. I could be an ass and just say combat, but that was the whole thing.
Well, you can say whatever you want. It's fine.
No, I want to be more specific. Honestly, and I know that they weren't part of our team, but like that victory shot at the end was great. I forgot who the character's name is now for some reason, and I feel bad, but like one of the rival groups getting that final blow on that giant monster. I was just like, the whole time they kept missing and missing
Yeah,
and missing.
especially after all those misses.
Yes, and I think they did hit once or twice, but like it was like a miss, hit, or it was like a miss, maybe a hit, miss, and like to get that final like death blow, I thought was like really cool, and I thought that was like really awesome.
You really let it go.
Yeah. yes, they did.
Let it go.
And then I mean, personally, for Finn is I like the little rivalry that I had with that warrior. Like, just, we're just battling back and forth, and who knows what'll happen with the conceived win, if anything will ever come out of that. But I think that's fun. Yeah. And then you can find me on Twitter at ZombieFighter89. If you do, there's a pin tweet there made by the lovely Lady May, where I do video editing, audio editing, Twitch clipping. If that's something you or anybody else would be interested in, I'm hireable. I have an email there as well. Anyone who's on my Discord can DM me as well, and I'm open for stuff. And as well as I may as well promote, because GeekDice is not here tonight. If you haven't seen enough of this face and you want to see more of this face for whatever reason, next week I will be part of the Frost Maiden game that just started up last week, which was really fun. I really enjoyed that game. You all should come watch because it's a fun batch of characters that we got going on over there as well.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of that, we started up our second Patreon game. We will be resuming Frost Maiden next Wednesday, so Secrets of Saltmarsh will resume the Wednesday after that. And they both start at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you. We'll head over to John.
Everybody, I'm John, aka Andicarus, and I also am aka Paul of Ammonfort tonight. My favorite part was definitely Finn's little rivalry with that guy. I liked that Stella made him admit to losing. But then he just wouldn't let it go and be like, "Oh no, I didn't actually lose. I just said I lost." And that the rivalry is going to continue from now on because of this card is super great. If you want to see more of me, this is really the only thing I do on stream, but it's not the only thing I do online. And if any of you are planning to attend virtual GaryCon coming up in the season of conventions, I'm going to be running some 3rd edition old living Greyhawk adventures set in the wonderful land of Zeef. I used to be the regional administrator for part of the Living Greyhawk campaign, and I coordinated the writers for all of these adventures that we had written in our little region. And I was very, very proud of them. The fact that they can't be published because of weird copyright laws makes me even more resolute in my desire to make sure that these people get their due. And so I'm running these adventures because I'm allowed to do that at conventions, usually at GaryCon and at the virtual Greyhawk Con that Lord Gosamba puts on every year. So if you want to play some Greyhawk with me, come and play. I'll be there. If you actually live near me in the Vancouver area, I'm also running games at Terminal City Tabletop Con, and you're welcome to come and play with me as I run one of my own games called Law of the Jungle. If you don't live in town, you can go try and play it yourself. You can get a copy of it on my itch.io page.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And I'll drop a link to Gary Con there in chat. So if you want to check out more of that, there's the link. Really appreciate you. We'll head on over to Godfather.
Hey, I'm GodfatherWraith. I really don't have any presence online beyond being here in Stella's chat, as well as a few other streamers who are part of the community. I'm gonna have to say that I'm torn. I'm still gonna follow suit and say that I absolutely love the banter between Finn and that warrior Pharaoh was his name.
Yeah.
That was very good, very entertaining. I also absolutely loved how much of an indomitable tank Pole is.
Yes.
He took so many hits. It's crazy.
Yep. For our viewers, if you haven't noticed already, Pole's a pacifist. Pole
Yeah.
doesn't deal damage and attack things. He stands resolute.
But he'll distract us or distract things for us, which is
Yep.
very nice.
Distract, crowd control like he did in the beginning with the warrior and the ranger, and just absorb crazy amounts of damage. Pole's amazing. I love him.
Thank you, thank you. And we'll hop on over to Emma. Tell me all about you.
Hi, I'm Emma, also known as Emma Panada. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Emma Panada. You can also find the project that I'm making, All the Witches, at Twitter at allthewitches_. If cool witchy TTRPG sounds neat to you, please go check it out. We just announced our Kickstarter launch date today, which is going to be March 16th. So it's a real cool project, I think, and I hope people like it. And if you want to learn more, then please go look at that Twitter. There's a lot of good stuff. My favorite part of tonight was right at the end with Stella RPing with themselves between multiple NPCs and having a full-fledged conversation. As a GM, that's very hard and it's really awkward to do. But major props to Stella for just making it like a cool little scene and make it be neat.
Thank you.
But Stella, what was your favorite part?
The monkey.
Yeah.
Releasing the monkey. Oh my god, So, honest, I forgot about the monkey forever, but I'm running with this. This is going to be absolute chaos, and I'm not sorry. Thank you so much, Emma. Hi everybody, I'm Still Luna. If this is the first time you're seeing the content here, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed it. You can follow us on Twitch at Stelluna and Stelluna TV over on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching all of our content, and if you want to support the channel, a free way to do that is to give us a follow on either platform. You get notifications for when we go live and when we upload new content. And also, again and always, forever, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of our Patreons, including the Patreons you see here on the screen. Because of them, everything that we do is possible on our platform. That's going to be it for us. We'll be back with Secrets of Saltmarsh on the 15th of February at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Otherwise, I hope to see you then or other times. Good night, everybody. Bye.